Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank
I'm not on
everyone.
camera because I'm under the weather. You're in charge. Oh, I messed up. I'm sorry. Hi. There you go.
Listen, this is. Don't worry.
This is the way.
This is this mic on. Hello, checking one two
Yes.
1 2.
I hear you.
Sipowitz. Sip. Okay.
You're fine.
Hello, Jersey Dolphins. Who else did I see in the chat?
Kimikaze.
Kimmy
It's just
Cotton.
us. There's some lurkers, but that's okay.
Well,
We'll say
welcome
hi as they
everybody.
come in. Audio is perfect.
Well, thank you everyone for joining. My name's Alex, and of course, Kimmy Cotton.
I'm Kimmy.
Yep, as she mentioned, unfortunately, she's not feeling her best. So, this is kind of my, uh, I guess,
It's your story.
yeah, it is. It's a credible story, um, and as people pile in, uh, I am probably going to butcher this man's name a million, or the person, the entity, because people go back and forth. Is it a, they debate, there's debate. Is it one person? Is it a group of people, of intellectuals?
Can I
Is
say
it,
his name?
is it a government? Satoshi Nakamoto.
Satoshi Nakamoto. Nakamoto.
Domo Gato Mr. Roboto.
All right.
I just don't mean to quote Styx lyrics, but I'm always thinking music.
So
Anyway,
we did have a lot to do today, and so I didn't do too much investigating. I only did a couple, so I am very excited for you to tell the story of Satoshi Nakamoto. Go ahead, babe. Share what you got.
I'm going to share what I got. So, for those that don't know, this person or country or entity or group of people, business, no one knows who this person is. Many believe, based upon certain writings, that it's someone that's doesn't have Asian descent, like the name gives. Maybe perhaps the person wanted to be incognito for whatever reason.
Really?
They're the ones that
Hi,
invented.
Darella.
Hello, this. We'll just say this person, because we don't know again if it's a country or person. This person came up with the idea of cryptocurrency, basically invented what we know as Bitcoin today. Back in 2009, wrote a paper, basically, and you'll be hearing about it. It's called the white paper, and it's about, and please, I'm not an IT person. I don't claim to be one. So it gets into the weeds a little bit, that kind of blows my mind, but came up with the whole concept of cryptocurrency and mining through computers, and obviously started it and had Bitcoin, the first Bitcoin way back in when it was started. And then by 2011, nobody ever met this person face to face. It was all intellectuals that gathered in chat rooms and discussed this theory, concept, whatever you want to call it. And in 2011, just completely disappeared off the scene. Today, it's estimated that that person owns about $5 billion with a
Wow.
B of cryptocurrency. And obviously that goes up and down. So that number, the bottom line is a lot of loot. But here's the thing, it's not touched. Nobody knows. It hasn't been sold. You know, uh, no one has any clue. did this person maybe that invented it end up passing away before he could reap the benefits?
Well,
Did
I'm sorry, I
did
heard that the last thing somebody that he worked with, he was sending emails to him, like a partner or whatever, and the last email was, just that the company or the, project was in good hands with this person. I think his name was Sean or something. And then he said that nothing was ever touched. Like his accounts have never been touched, so they don't know where he is. Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of speculation. Again, did this person pass away? Is this person an actual country that developed this, and they're kind of just letting the money go up, and at some point just going to sell and then make it crash? There's all sorts of crazy theories. The only thing that I know, and this is my opinion, again, this is all speculative and opinions, there's a lot of crime that occurs on cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency was developed to go around the safeguards of lending institutions and banking institutions. And the concept is so that, a government would fall, you wouldn't lose your money. I get that. But because there are no guardrails, criminals can take money and walk away. And you could see many cases of elderly folks that are at Bitcoin machines depositing thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in cash.
Wow.
They're on the phone. I
Hi,
saw
Granny.
one. Hello, welcome. I saw a video where literally it's a body cam. The officer, thank God the person working at the convenience store saw this woman just depositing hundreds of dollar bills into the Bitcoin and on the phone with a criminal who is instructing her to do this. So the law enforcement shows up. He tells the lady to stop. And she's like, no, I can't. And he's in uniform. He's got the body camera and everything. And he finally says, let me talk to him. He takes the phone. And the crook is arguing with the law enforcement officer. She's going to go to jail and all that. And he's like, that's not how it works. Again, you could look that up. So anyway, I'm off track a little bit. And those of you just joining us, Kimikaze's a bit under the weather today. So kind of, I get a chance to run my mouth a little bit more than even she would want me to do.
I can still interrupt though. I am in control.
She could pull the plug at any second.
No, I just so that everybody knows, I'm fine. It's just I'm a little dizzy. I was spinning around in that kitchen. So I just want to take it easy so that I don't, we know what we got to do. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just dizzier than usual. But go ahead, because you have some
I have
you
some
got some
videos.
clips. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a
All
couple
right.
videos. The first one is actually from like 5 or 8 years ago that talks a little bit about, and I'll just play it and then we'll stop along the way and interject so that we don't get anybody upset and flag any issues here. Let me see. Present. Share screen.
You got this.
All right. Hang with me here.
What's it, your first day with the new computer?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's an old.
All
All right.
right.
So close that. Ooh, that's me. Oh, that's me.
Well, while he's doing that, just to let everybody know, we are talking about Satoshi Nakamoto, who apparently is the inventor of Bitcoin and walked away from billions of
Oh,
dollars, and nobody knows where he is.
can
Gotcha?
everybody see my screen?
No, you have to share.
It says stop sharing, click here. StreamYards is sharing a window, it says. All right, I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was weird because I didn't see anything here.
Okay, let me try it again.
So present, and then
Share
I'll put it on.
screen,
Okay. And then I'll look for it over here.
sharing screen, share.
Okay, hold on.
It says
Uh,
StreamYard is sharing a
there we
window.
go. Hold on. I got you. I got you, babe.
Ah, good. I'm glad it wasn't my fault.
There you go.
All right.
That was
So,
probably my fault. I apologize.
oh, it's okay, honey. All right, here we go.
There's no volume, babes. There's no volume.
It's all the way up.
Pause it.
Can you adjust it?
Uh,
It's full all the way up.
um, no. Oh, crying out loud. Bobby, we're trying to figure out the audio. I wonder why that's not. Where did you find that video? Do you want to,
It's YouTube.
what's the, what's it called?
Mystery founder of Bitcoin uncovering Satoshi. Right here. It's a CNBC report.
Okay, let's see if I can find it. Is it 6 minutes? Yeah, I think I found it for you.
All right, then I'm going
So,
to stop sharing.
okay. So I'll share and see if it works this way. Teamwork, baby. Teamwork. This is it, right?
That's it.
Technology world is the identity of Satoshi
There you go.
Nakamoto, the computer programmer who invented the digital currency Bitcoin. That's because Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym. It may be the name of one person or the name of a group. But for over 9 years now of Bitcoin's existence, no one has figured out who or what Nakamoto really is. Beyond solving a long-standing mystery, what sort of impact would uncovering Nakamoto's identity actually have? To answer that question, let's start at the beginning. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page white paper containing the first ever mention of Bitcoin, calling it a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. At this point, Bitcoin was just an idea on paper. But in 2009, Nakamoto put the concept to test, releasing the cryptocurrency's first software. Nakamoto was active those first few years, writing in forums, sending emails, and working with other developers and coders to improve the program. That all changed in 2011, when Nakamoto essentially vanished. No more forum entries, no more emails. And in all that time, nobody, not even close collaborators, ever met the founder in person. But here's the thing, whoever it is, they didn't walk away empty-handed. Nakamoto is estimated to have 1 million bitcoins, which, as of today, is worth over $5 billion. So, why did Nakamoto just disappear?
Well, there are two competing theories. There's the good Satoshi hypothesis, which holds that Satoshi really wanted to let Bitcoin go and become its own thing without him. The other hypothesis is that Satoshi really just saw Bitcoin taking off and wanted to keep his privacy.
That's Matt Green, a cryptocurrency professor at Johns Hopkins University. He says the latter hypothesis is more likely. And as evidence, he points to the story of Dorian Nakamoto, a Japanese American who, in 2014, was incorrectly identified as being the inventor of Bitcoin.
Just a couple of years ago, Newsweek identified a man named Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto, who isn't Satoshi Nakamoto, but they thought he was. And reporters descended on his house and tore apart his life.
Do you mind speaking to us for a moment?
No. I have nothing to do with Bitcoin. I just believe that somebody put that fictitious name in there.
So I think there's a pretty good case to be made that the last thing you want to do in your life is be identified as the creator of Bitcoin.
But for some people, being in the limelight is exactly what they want. Take Craig Wright.
He's a former Australian academic who, in 2016, told the BBC on camera that he could prove he was the founder of Bitcoin.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you?
Yes.
It didn't quite work out that way. Security researcher Dan Kaminsky concluded Wright's claim was intentional scammery.
For someone like Craig Stephen Wright, it may have been, beneficial in his mind to claim that, authority. You're able to speak at conferences, garner a lot of support.
Ben Yu is a cryptocurrency investor living in San Francisco. He thinks Nakamoto is Nick Szabo, an American computer scientist.
There is strong evidence pointing to certain people who may be Satoshi Nakamoto, but ultimately nothing definitively conclusive.
So why do people keep searching? It comes down to money and politics.
Bitcoin has a finite supply. There are only 21 million that can ever be mined. Nakamoto is assumed to have 1 million of them, which amounts to about 5% of the entire cryptocurrency. So let's put that in perspective. Take gold. The US government holds the most gold reserves of anyone in the world at about 8,000 tons. The estimated total gold in the world is 187,000 tons. So the US has about 4.3% of the world's total supply.
That means Nakamoto may have a bigger stake in Bitcoin than the entire US government has in gold. And if Nakamoto were to unload those Bitcoins quickly, the value of the crypto could tank.
The thing about Bitcoin is if you control 1 million of them, you have the ability to flood the market at any point. Think of them as rare baseball cards, right? They're valuable because they're rare. If somebody could dump hundreds or thousands of Mickey Mantle trading cards, rare ones, onto the market, they wouldn't be worth so much anymore. So that's kind of the danger with Satoshi.
But some people don't think the impact would be long-lasting.
Ultimately, like every form of currency or money, Bitcoin's value is predicated on its trust. And Bitcoin has already been deemed extremely trustworthy by a lot of people. There's about $3 billion of value being traded in trading volume every day, and the market cap is over 70 billion. So even if Satoshi did crash the price with a few $1 billion of Bitcoin being sold, ultimately it would rebound back, I believe, as the trust is already there from many other parties.
Then there's the influence Nakamoto could have on politics.
So Bitcoin has been having a number of very complicated political kind of arguments between different factions. And a lot of these different factions have invoked Satoshi Nakamoto as kind of their guiding figure. They say Satoshi would have wanted this, or Satoshi would have wanted that. That's easy to do because Satoshi's not there, and so we don't actually know what Satoshi would have wanted.
I think the community may actually benefit if Satoshi did choose to come back and become a spiritual leader who could provide guidance and reconcile the community towards consensus.
For now, though, it doesn't seem like Satoshi Nakamoto is interested in coming forward. Anonymity provides protection, privacy, and peace. 3 things that likely appeal to the owner of 1 million Bitcoins. But is that really such a bad thing?
With the havoc it could wreak on the price of Bitcoin and internal politics, it may be better off that Nakamoto, whoever that is, remain anonymous and inactive indefinitely. But that won't stop people from wondering.
I have 1,000 questions.
Okay.
So if you invent something like this, right, and he's a wealthy man, then Brad, if he's a wealthy man, but he's mysterious and he's not using any of his accounts, then what's he doing? Is he just working? He's just a regular Joe Schmo like we are?
Well, that's the mystery here. The
That's
mystery
wild.
is who it is. Who is it? Number one, and number two, why haven't they? Because again, this all started 2009 and 2010, and they disappeared in 2011. So obviously, with math, we're talking 15 years ago. This person
That's at dinner watching.
like cashed in any or done anything
That's
in
it.
15
That's what
years?
I think if I were like the inventor of Bitcoin, maybe I wouldn't want to be, holding that much money, but I'd want to be able to take enough so that we can like, go on, get a real big traveling trailer,
Well,
take the cats.
here's the deal. We discovered during this, and this is breaking news. We discovered who the person is,
Oh, hold on, look. Bubby thinks I think it might be someone who is steady, rich, and famous already.
and that's a possibility. But
Jarella
it
thinks
seems
that
like
too.
Jersey Dolphins is the creator of Bitcoin.
Uh-oh. They're in Jersey. Jersey. We got to meet for trivia.
Well, and Mr. Rell has a great point, but here's the thing: everybody knows Ashton Kutcher and some other people invented Twitter, like worked on Twitter. Ashton was one of the, but at some point he cashed out over the years.
Wait,
Everybody knows.
Ashton Kutcher did something with Twitter?
Yeah, he was one of the first guys. Elon Musk was one of the main dudes of PayPal. Started that. That's where he got a lot of his seed money to get going. Was
Didn't
with
Jay-Z do
PayPal.
something with Cash App?
I don't know. I don't know that. I believe you. I don't know any information about that. But my point is, in 15 years, somebody is going to cash out, and you're assuming that if it's a young person that's in college that came up with this white paper and did this, then at some point they would be want to, live it up a little bit within 15 years. And if it was
Yeah.
someone that was, more of a professor type, which was older and more intellectual and all that, wouldn't they in 15 years later say, all right, my job, whatever, I'm going to retire. I'm going to sell some.
No,
I'm
I
going
wouldn't
do
want to do
something.
that. But you never know, this man.
I,
Yeah,
I,
that's what Bubby wants to know, Ashton. We're all shocked that
okay,
Ashton
hang
was a
on.
part of the Twitter.
Hang on.
I didn't know he was a part of the tweets. And I just looked, Jay-Z was a part of Block, who is part of Cash App, and he's like a shareholder or founder or something
And
like that.
and I could be wrong, but I believe that's.
I thought Ashton Kutcher
I'm
created Acorns.
I'm hold
No,
on,
that's all right. You're not under investigation here.
hold on. I could be absolutely wrong. Uh, you know what? I was wrong. I don't know where I got that information. I really thought, and I apologize, folks. Thanks for checking me. This is the problem when you run your mouth and you don't know what you're
No,
talking.
it's okay. Ashton Kutcher is not the founder of Twitter, but he was a pivotal early power user.
Yeah.
Helped the platform explode in the mainstream.
I thought he was an investor, and I don't know where I got that. So I was absolutely incorrect, it looks like, in just a quick Google search going through the wiki. So
okay.
I apologize. I
Well, you're
was
not, but you're not, well, you're not far off because I do think Ashton is the one that, or like he was a part of the Acorns, you know, that app that you have where you link it to your bank and then like if we go out and we spend $7.69, they round it up and that money goes into the Acorn, which is a good thing. But so you weren't completely wrong. He found something.
how dare I? But my point is that in 15 years, even if you're independently wealthy, I, you know, my wondering, and I don't have any, I have just as good as guess as anyone else. I'm wondering if the person just didn't pass away. If it was some like introverted person who was like a professor type who had this idea
Okay.
and just before he could see it through, just life happened, you know. That's kind of what I believe happened. So there are some people that say governments took him out, but if government took him out, it's not like he invented something that could replace oil, for a car, and OPEC took, I mean that's something completely different.
When I was watching the Bravo, uh that was my main channel. And I watched $1 Million Listing, right? And like this was years ago, and it was like I don't know what season it was, but I want to say Ryan Seacrest, but that's his name's Ryan. He actually did a deal with someone who paid for like millions, like it was a multi-million-dollar New York apartment in Bitcoin, and his firm was like, "Are you crazy?" But people are doing it. Or they would. Bubby says they were murdered for the money.
Granny Whisper has a good comment here. Still does not explain why the family don't go after the money. Now, that's why I think this is one of those intellectual types that was maybe introverted, maybe didn't have a lot of family, maybe they didn't even know that he was in, because this was all done through chat rooms and things back in 2009, when those things were, the internet was still not where it is today, of course, and growing, but there was a lot of chat rooms and things like that people would discuss different, you know, political things, monetary things, all sorts of different. You could find anything.
In the beginning, didn't you have to like you mined it like through computer programming, like you would find a coin, and wasn't that how it all went?
Yeah, see, that's the part where the IT, I can't explain how it works, but yes, it involves some sort of computer program and has to work X amount of time to get to a coin, a nugget, or whatever.
Yeah. So, and Bubby says it could crash the market, it could crash stocks, and people have been killed for less.
That is true, but in 2011, it wasn't what it is today. It was still a year or so of a new idea. And somebody else, Granny was talking about laughing at it. I'll be honest with you. I laughed at it too. I even to this day, I just don't feel comfortable, with.
Remember when you gave me $50 to invest in it and I lost 17 and I took all my money out?
Well, that was my wife decided she wanted to jump in it. And I'm like, listen, I love my wife. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care. It's go ahead, take $50 and, put it in a slot machine. Maybe have a better opportunity. I have a tough time, with that whole investment into that. A lot of people swear by it. A lot of people do it. I work with people that love it. I know people that do it. It's just not my. I just can't. I'll just stick to the 401k. Just at work they let you take money out of your check and you don't get taxed on it because it goes to future investment. That's all I do. I can't get into it. And Bubby's
It's
still
interesting.
laughing at it. So what? Here's an interesting question that I wanted to ask when we're thinking about this. What do you think? And this touches on the question that let's see who had that good statement about the family, and it was Granny Whisper. The family. Okay, so let's say today someone decides, hey, look, I'm going to, using her example, it was my uncle George, Pete, whatever, fill in the blank, who was the person who came up with this. I'm going to court. I'm going to sue to get permission to take over his account. Now, it's my understanding that if you lose the passcodes or you don't have the passcodes, you're done. It's gone. It's like you can't get your money. It's my understanding. Now, I could be wrong. But I mean, I was wrong about Ashton Kutcher. I'm probably wrong about this too. but no, Ashton Kutcher was involved with it. He promoted it a lot early on. That's probably where I got confused.
But
So
how
anyway,
can you?
my point
Anybody
is
can go up to a table and say, "That's my uncle," right? So you have to prove that that guy was the one that founded it, and then prove that your family. This is a whole big mystery.
So Jersey Dolphins, for example, files paperwork, goes to court, says, "Hey, this money is mine. It's my uncle or aunt, cousin, whatever." And I don't think you could still even get the cash. It's not like you're going to sue an institution. There's no Bitcoin institution, right? There's no like if you belong to a bank or a credit union, most of us have one in our area that you can walk in a brick and mortar and say, "Hey, I had a problem with the ATM. It ate up my withdrawal of $50. I never got it," and they can take care of it. How are you going to do that with crypto? You don't have the code. They're going to say pound sand. Who are you going to call to crack the code?
I don't know. I guess because I can't offer much to the conversation because I just don't understand Bitcoin. I don't know how it's mined. I don't know. Like, I went on Robinhood and they took they took $17. But that, you're watching everything go up and down. And I don't know. I don't get the stock market. You handle all that stuff. I don't care. Just let me buy giblets.
Well, let's see. I'm just curious. Bitcoin value today. Past 10 years.
What is that guy's name? DB Cooper?
Yes.
He just left, like he was a person and then just completely disappeared. This is like that guy.
Well, it is, but people physically saw a guy. Nobody has physically saw, there's a sketch of DB Cooper. There's a flight attendant sat next to him as he did his demands and all that. So there are eyewitnesses. No one has ever physically saw this person. And
they emailed back and forth.
And this is before AI and all that. Like today, you could go on the news and you see people all the time get taken advantage of, sending money, to a relative, and it's the relative's email was hacked, or a text message, or somebody I heard of a woman that she thought her child, her teenage child, went on a ski trip, and she got a phone call. It was her daughter, but what the crooks did was they went online and saw the daughter's posts, and they recorded her speaking and saying, "Oh, this is the salad I'm eating," and "Oh, look, this is my boyfriend," and or whatever. And they took the voice, and AI generated the conversation. The mom literally thought it was her daughter, was and was sending money because, yeah, today you have to be in the same room with somebody.
AI is scary.
It's scary, but I digress.
What if this Satoshi, what if he's the creator of AI too? You
It's a
never know.
possibility.
If he's smart enough to make Bitcoin, maybe he's smart enough to like generate AI. I don't know.
All right. So according to this, and I'm looking at Money Metals, which is it tells you what gold, silver, platinum, and all that, and also Bitcoin. Um, Bitcoin's price is $1,043.10 for one Bitcoin. That's what
How much is it for one Bitcoin?
$1,043 and change.
To get one coin?
I want to look for I want to look for a chart to show the years. Let's see if I can find a
I have a kitten up here
price history. Here you go.
sneezing on me.
Maybe Yahoo Finance.
Jersey said my brother fell for something like that years ago. I laughed at his dumbass.
All right, it's not doing it right. Let me try something else. BBC.
Bobby, what? My partner's elderly aunt is always getting catfished online. It's sad and a little concerning. Oh, my word. Well, it's scary. Well, you have to you have to take matters into your own hand when it comes to like the elderly because they're vulnerable. And that's what these scam artists do. They go after the elderly. And there's a lot of romance scams because, there's a lot of lonely people that are thinking that they're in love and then next thing you know, there goes money. Keep them off their web surfing if you can. All right, Mr. Kazi, let's see. Let's go in to see what's up here. There's so much that's on the internet that MicroStrategy is collapsing. Bitcoin to 5,000. There's like 2 days ago, it says the looming collapse of Michael Saylor's Bitcoin empire. Here, do you want to watch this? You have one? Where'd you go? He's gone into the abyss again. No. Yeah, you got the doom. Uh-oh, he vanished. She sends the money. The whole family has to keep money away because she sends it. Ah, Bobby. Mr. Kazi has left the building. Bitcoin is worth 65,000 just about. Oh, my word. Granny, could you imagine? Yeah, it says Bitcoin is currently trading between 63,500 and 64,000, 3,000 per coin, up roughly 1% to 2% over the last 24 hours. Holy smokes. Babe, can I have $1,000 so that I could buy a Bitcoin? $25 Bitcoins are worth $1.6 million. If anybody wants to send us some Bitcoin, our Cash App is. You're still spinning, babes. I think you should go out and come back in. Okay, you're out. Come back. You missed the boat. I think we all did, I guess. Alex has entered the studio. Now you're still spinning. Yeah, boy. I don't know what he does, but he always gets the wheel of doom. He's down there saying something to me, and I don't know what he's saying. Isn't he so cute? All right. I'm going to take you off again. Leave and come back. I don't know. When was this done? This is also technical too. I don't think don't fall for yeah. That's the other thing too. The Doge. I don't understand that either. I don't understand. Look, this is what I found. While we wait for Mr. Kazi. This is his story. I feel bad that he's gone. But when he comes back, I'll show him this. Look at this nonsense. Like, this is what people are looking at. He probably had to reboot. Let's watch this real fast. Oh. See, Granny, there it says 63. Where's my button?
All right, let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 1 week time frame. And later in this video, we'll look at the short-term analysis for Bitcoin as well. So for now, we still have this bearish price target to the downside after we broke down from this bearish flag pattern at 87K. So the price target currently is 52,000 in the Bitcoin price, with the more extended target being 45K in the Bitcoin price, also from this bearish flag pattern. Besides that, we do have a potential bullish divergence, which could confirm within the next couple of weeks. However, with this red weekly candle so far, we just need to give this a bit more time to continue playing out. Now,
is anybody else's brain mush? Because I don't understand any of that. It's insane, right, Jersey? What the hell are they talking about? I'm too risk averse to do crypto. That is wild. Look at this, what they're looking at.
Moving on to the support and resistance levels on the daily time frame, we just touched into a big area of support sitting from 62.5 all the way down to 60K. And in terms of the next area of support to the downside, in the case that we break below that 60K level, that is already sitting from 58 all the way down to 56,000. Now, in terms of resistance to the upside, that is actually sitting all the way up at 65 up to 66.
It sounds like could you imagine? You're on like $60,000. It is too much for me to understand. StreamYards will not let you in. What? Did you use the link in use the link in email? What the heck? There, click that link and come up. It's our first drop the link. Just click the link in chat and it'll bring you up. Yeah, it's your computer. Look, you're spanning. Oh no, this is terrible. There's nothing that I can do for you. Or not. Oh man. I wonder why that's doing that to him. And I don't think he can hear me. We can't maybe you're still enjoying it. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, watching all the kooky stuff. It's the same. I'll email you the link, but it's the same link that you're going to be using if you can hear me. I'll email it to you. Good gravy. Okay, I emailed you a new link. You're completely you can use the link in chat or the one in your email, but it's the same link for the StreamYards. It's what we're live on. Yeah, buddy. I know you had other stuff to say too. Yeah, you're back, but it's still spinning there, hubs. Google doesn't. Google doesn't want you discussing the crypto.
In the Bitcoin price. Besides that, I also wanted to check back in with this 12-hour time frame here. You can see that so far we are still making higher highs and higher lows here. So technically, this is still in a bullish structure. Again, similar to the 1 week time frame, we do need to give this a bit more room to see if we
Is
are
this
actually
what
going to
it
find
looks
some sort
like
of
when
bottom
they're
here.
doing stocks? Because I don't do stocks either. So next week on Couple, what happened, Mr. Cox? He said breaking news Jersey was the Nakamoto. Guess what? It's Mr. Kazi. Oh, that's a shame. I don't. That thing is giving me a headache. But is that what it looks like when you're doing the stocks? Because I don't play the stock market either, so I wouldn't know what I was looking at. And I know people that like watch like four screens. I'm literally. I feel bad. I don't know where my husband went. What's this mean? Mr. Plum with the candlestick. Not down in the basement. There was no basement in Clue. Try that link again. Try it again. Nope. You're handsome. There's nothing back here that I can you know what? Try going on, if you're on Mr. Kazi YouTube, use your phone to click the link. Or you don't have Streamlabs downloaded probably. You can try that as a backup. I don't know what else you had to do. I don't know what else you had planned. This was all your stuff. This was all your stuff. Okay, so we have Bitcoin for beginners. Will reboot. Okay. All right, so this is what it's at. Look, we're going to have all these pop-ups. I'm not creating an account. I don't know any of this. All right. Unlike services like Venmo and PayPal, which rely on traditional financial systems for permission to transfer money and on existing debit/credit accounts, Bitcoin is decentralized. Any two people anywhere in the world can send Bitcoin to each other without the involvement of a bank, government, or institution. Every transaction involving Bitcoin is tracked on the blockchain, which is similar to a bank's ledger or log of customers' funds going in and out of the bank. In simple terms, it's a record of every transaction ever made using Bitcoin. Unlike a bank's ledger, the Bitcoin blockchain is distributed across the entire network. No company, country, or third party is in control of it, and anyone can become a part of that network. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. This is digital money that cannot be inflated or manipulated in any way. It isn't necessary to buy an entire Bitcoin. You can buy just a fraction of one, and that's all you want or need. What the? You don't have to buy a whole coin? That's it, Jarella. They can't track it or have control of it. The one thing that I did see, like this short, was that they think that maybe like the government may own it. I don't know. It is crazy, but I wouldn't be playing around with it. BTC is the abbreviation of Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin is Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Yes. Bitcoin is the first widely adopted cryptocurrency, which is just another way of saying digital money. I want digital money. What's the price of Bitcoin? The current price of Bitcoin can be found on Coinbase's website. Is Bitcoin an investment opportunity? It says, like any other asset, you can make money by buying Bitcoin low and selling high, or lose money in the inverse scenario. This is what blows my mind. Like $480 initial investment. Why does it keep going? 3,337 accumulated value as of October 21st, 2019, and it gained 595%. Don't know anything about money. I don't play around with it. I just go to work, make it, and then come home. He is in the front room. I don't know what he's got, his new computer, and he got a new battery and everything. He's rebooting. So what did everybody do today? We did go to the gym, and then we went and we bought more steaks because they were on sale. We got a good deal on that. So we bought some more steaks. And of course I cooked. Like Saturday morning all over. just waiting for Mr. Kazi to get himself together. Poor guy. I'm looking for him. I'm searching. You got ribs. They were on sale at Walmart. I was looking at the ribs. There's like some good buys. My husband understands it and monkeys around with it, but I don't ask or discuss it. I just assume he's not doing anything dumb. I mean, if Mr. Kazi was telling me that, he tells me about the stocks and like what we're doing and stuff like that. And, apparently we're up, which is good, right? But if he was playing around with Bitcoin, I don't know. I don't know. It's overwhelming to me. But then again, so is like StreamYards. You know what I mean? Oh, he's got a major update. Oh, he's got the update and all the information. I'm asking him what he wants to do. You had ribs and brisket? Mmm. We're corresponding through the cellies. So for the guys in the chat, I hope you guys have a good Father's Day tomorrow. Brad's over there sewing, chopping wood. I haven't had ribs in a while. Poor guy. All right, let's see if we can find some Bitcoin on the YouTubes and see what, like, keep the story going here, because I don't know anything about it. There is a YouTube channel that is Satoshi Stacker. Look, they're stealing his name. All right. I got a short here.
Continued to be active in the community until around December of 2010, when he would make his last forum post. Without any real public announcement, he began removing himself completely from the project, letting the others he trusted to take full control. While Satoshi's public involvement had ended, he did still seem to respond to some emails from those who were working on Bitcoin at the time. In 2017, Mike Hearn, one of the early developers of Bitcoin, released his email correspondence with Satoshi from 2009 to 2011. In his last email, Mike Hearn asked, "I had a few other things on my mind, as always. One is, are you planning on rejoining the community at some point? Example for code reviews, or is your plan to permanently step back from the limelight?" Satoshi answered this question with a concise yet insightful response. "I've moved on to other things. It's in good hands with Gavin and everyone." This made it official. Satoshi Nakamoto was done with Bitcoin, thus ushering Bitcoin into a new era without its creator. Satoshi would continue to be active in the community until around December of 2010, when he would make his last forum post. Without any real public announcement, he began removing himself completely from the project, letting the others he trusted to take full control. While Satoshi's public involvement had ended, he did still seem to respond to some emails from those who were working on Bitcoin at the time. In 2017, Mike Hearn, one of the early developers of Bitcoin, released his email correspondence with Satoshi from 2009 to 2011. In his last email, Mike Hearn asked, "I had a few other things on my mind, as always. One..."
You know what happened with the shorts? You know how like they just start repeating again? I was like, why is this? Didn't we just hear this part? I couldn't invest in cryptic money. Invest and develop and mine are not words used with regular money. Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, why? It just is so fishy to me. It's fishy. I don't know. I don't know where Mr. Kazi went. He's not on the phone either. Short ribs. Okay, he's rebooting. He's listening. Okay. I'm trying to find some stuff because I don't know anything about your story and what you were trying to find. This is why I see the one time I didn't. You're doing great. The one time I didn't do too much investigating, and now I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh no, we're finding stuff. You found a news story. Can I see? Where have you been all my life? Where have you been all my life?
I, funny story.
He's fishing.
When I about an hour or whatever ago, when I turned on the computer, it did say, "Oh, you're having a system update. It'll do it after hours." And I have all my stuff set up for like 1 o'clock in the morning, so even if I'm up late at night or something working on something, it's not going to interrupt. I guess the
You
computer
mean when
decided,
you're up mining
I guess
for
the
Bitcoin?
computer decided to be my wife and not listen to me. Just kidding. I'm here all week. Try to be. That being said, my wife's good to me. Believe me, she is. I joke with her, but she's really good to me. So hi, everybody, again. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry that, whatever. So I think what happened
that you
was
dipped out. We
I-
think
I-
that you dipped out to go find some Bitcoin. You're mining.
oh,
That's what's going on.
no, you have more likely that I dipped out to go get a cheesesteak. That would have been more
True. True.
So here's the thing. So I did have another video or two, and I have to find it because, of course, I had to reboot and all that. So I guess that's why I was slow like that. That's the only thing I could think of. I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody.
Well, it's not your fault. Get Adele, dude.
She says that because that's what I'm using.
Good luck with the bacon tomorrow. Hey, I made bacon.
It was good. I had some earlier.
Are
Not
you
just
serious?
now.
You already got in it?
Yeah, I had to have dinner. Heck.
I made you chicken fajita.
I had some of that too.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, and I had half of the sweet potato. It was really good. But nobody wants to hear my diet and what I ate. I mean, they ain't come here for that.
Yeah, we came here for Bitcoin, and you don't have anything left.
Because I just...
Look at what Granny said.
Oh, boy.
Granny said, "Sweetheart, had my first cheesesteak yesterday. Not a fan." Granny, to
Where?
be fair,
Granny.
you didn't like. They say Philly cheesesteaks, and it's like there's no such thing as green peppers and mushrooms and onions and like no, you have to ask for those things. Here, it's just a steak and cheese.
And they use different kind of meats across the country instead of Philadelphia uses a prime, like a, I can't explain.
Prime, it's ribeye.
Ribeye.
Shaved ribeye. Dell is a great computer. I turned on my Alien 4 times now. Got it before Halloween. Like an alien head?
No,
What-
that's the thing. Oh, good, I found it. All right. All right. Do you want me to give you the thing to see if this is loud enough for you? Do you want to share the screen or
No, can you drop the link in? Well, no, I can't do that. What's it called? Is it
new
on YouTube?
documentary?
What's
And
it
this
called?
came out a couple months ago. I saw new documentary traces the origins of Bitcoin. And you should see 4 people sitting around a desk at Bloomberg.
Four people sitting around a desk at Bluebird? What the hell's Bluebird?
Bloomberg is, Mike Bloomberg was the mayor of New York City. He has
What's the
an
name of the
investment
channel?
magazine. I'm sorry?
What's the name of the channel?
Oh, that I don't know. Hang on. I thought if you just Googled that, it would pop up. Let me lower this here. It is Bloomberg Podcast, so it's directly from Bloomberg.
Bloomberg?
BL as in Lima, O as in Oscar, another O as in Oscar, M as in Mike.
All right, I gotcha.
Bloomberg Podcast, and its new documentary traces the origins of Bitcoin. And you're going to see in a minute, this guy claims to know who Satoshi is. And thank you, everyone, for being kind and staying around in spite of the technical difficulties, lack of communication.
Can you copy the link and put it in the private chat?
Sure, I could do that.
Let's do it. Charlie's cheesesteaks. Alienware dough laptop.
Yeah, where did she get the cheesesteak? I'm curious. I put it in
No. My YouTube is glitching.
Well, this time you can't blame it on me.
I didn't blame it on you the last time.
Oh, well, I blamed it on me the last time.
All right, I'm leaving and I'll be back.
Blame it on the rain. All right, it's my turn to stretch, as they say in the entertainment community. Hey, now might be a good time if anybody hasn't liked the stream, if you would just take a quick moment and just give the old thumbs up. And you know what? If you really hate us, give us a thumbs down.
I'm back.
It's still commentary. All right, let me go in the chat here and see where. All right, cheesesteak, not a fan. Got to be
Did you
near.
share the link? You did.
I did. Sold in Philadelphia area. Others just a sandwich. And you know what? Brad should know. He's traveled the 4 corners of the United States. Charlie's cheesesteaks. Not familiar with Charlie's cheesesteaks. Brad. Yeah. I have something similar. It's not Alienware. It's an XPS or something, but yeah. Cheesecake is better in Philadelphia as well. Okay.
Do you think so?
Miss Jarella finished her chores. Hey, Miss Jarella, Miss Kimikaze is not up to it. If you want to come over and do a couple things over here, I'll throw you a couple bucks.
Geez. I wanted to do the bathroom and the kitchen, but I just simply cannot
Come
bend
on,
over.
I'm just teasing here.
I know you are.
No, I'm not sweating anything.
All right, so here's your documentary. Are we all here? I'm here in StreamYards.
I'm here. Mama's all right. Daddy's all right. They're just
all right. Here we go.
Great to have both of you with us. We're not going to reveal who you identify Satoshi Nakamoto as, But what I will do here is you have a list of suspects.
But that's asking a lot of self-control over journalists.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Continue. I will adult.
Very recently, the New York Times reporter John Kerry was out with a piece suggesting that Adam Back is Satoshi Nakamoto. I will say that's not who you identify Satoshi Nakamoto as. Walk us through why he is not. You pick who wants to do it.
You start, Tyler.
Well, I think I'm going to answer that question differently.
Okay.
I mean, our film involved interviews with dozens of people. We interviewed hundreds.
All over the world.
All over the world. And that's one of the methodologies that we used that was not used by the New York Times. I don't think there's any sources that are quoted. His excellent investigation involved a lot of data analysis. We also did that. So our conclusions and our methodology are very different. And I'm looking very much forward to how people compare the two.
How did you two get connected? How long have you known each other, and why did you want to do this?
Well, so I mean, I didn't say to myself, Bill, you're an investigative journalist. You know, who's
Today,
Nakamoto? I've got to write a film, do a film about this. You know, I was kind of minding my own business, working on another book, and you know, I got a call from the producer and the director saying, would I be interested in sort of being the David Gura of the process, you know, where I, you know, interview all these, you know, sort of OG crypto people.
Gary Gensler,
Michael Saylor, you know.
But was this your world? How much of this did you know? Okay.
No. I was like everybody else. Like, what is Bitcoin? You know, I'm kind of interested in that. I mean, it seems like it's a new form of digital gold or digital currency. But anytime somebody talked about the blockchain or the ledger, like everybody else, my eyes would glaze over and like, okay, what are these people talking about? So I thought,
all right, so we're all in the same boat. We all are glazed over. Are you there?
No, I agree. I'm the same way. When it comes to the whole how it works, to me, it's just like the cup game. It's just like, you know,
right, like Brad just said.
Yeah,
he said nothing. He just looked at statistics.
Perfect way of putting it, Brad. Perfect way of putting it.
And you bum Bitcoin. All right, let's continue.
all right, I'm a financial journalist. I'm an investigative.
I'm going to speed him up, though.
Know what this is, and this was an opportunity to actually dig in and try to figure out what this was all about.
So you're sitting down with tech journalists and regulators, Kara Swisher, Nick Bilton, and the likes, and you keep hitting this wall. And that's when you bring in Tyler. Explain sort of what you proposed or what was appealing to you about this project.
Well, what fascinated me first was how many people had tried to solve it. I mean, journalists from the top media organizations in the world, internet sleuths, academics for 10, 15 years, people have been digging. And it was kind of shocking that no one had it. And what we had a realization, which is that the persona of Satoshi was just as fascinating to us as the creation of Bitcoin.
The cult of not even
the cult of this, exactly. Who was
this
this person, and what was his or her motives, and where did they come from, and why did they create this? And so, while Bill was interviewing people who were using it, I liken it to, imagine we're making a film about F1. Bill is interviewing the drivers of the cars, and I'm interviewing the people who design the cars, the engineers. And so I was able to go back in history and talk to cryptographers. So these are computer scientists who specialize in creating digital systems to allow us to protect our privacy. To create security.
It's a fascinating community.
Fascinating. And so I went back and I met people who were studying this and part of this community going back to the 1970s, and how the idea that we need some kind of protection using computer systems against an encroaching surveillance capitalism. This is how they thought of this going all the way back a generation or two.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is in many ways the kind of culmination of that thinking.
That's what was interesting to me. I didn't know that you there's great graphics in this film, but you show kind of like the predecessors of it. There's like a bit gold and something else, and like the predecessors of the blockchain technology, which is what makes it such a durable product.
I think that's right. And what Satoshi did so well was he took all of these, and these aren't necessarily predecessors as much as they were pieces in the building that he was going to build. So he took all these other technologies that had related but incomplete components and assembled them. And that was part of the brilliance technologically.
And we were really spurred on by the fact that I did all these interviews, like 25 or 30, and I kept getting the Heisman. People kept, blocking me.
Your irritation was palpable.
Why are you interested in this, Bill? You're a smart guy. You should move on. This is not important. It doesn't matter who Satoshi is or was. We've got, as Michael Saylor says, Prometheus gave us the fire. Let's run with it. And so I think we have to get beyond this. We're not getting anywhere. We're having these great interviews with Michael Saylor, who's mesmerizing, and Sam Bankman-Fried, who's mesmerizing. But that's when we had to turn to Tyler and say, okay, we need a private investigator. Get beyond this and really get to the answer.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that's, I guess, what makes it even more interesting now is that this guy is completely mysterious. And now people are going and trying to dig. They don't care about the Bitcoin. They want to know about him.
Right. And again, who walks away from all that money for 15 years? Like in the beginning, I get it. You're letting it grow. You're trying to let it happen. Yeah, that's true. Bradley's right on point there again.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right, let's see what these guys got to
Let's
say.
beginning of the film, it's like the movie Snickers, if I may, where you're introducing who's on your team and who can do what. Talk a bit about that. Yes, you're a private investigator, but what resources were you able to bring to bear, not just you, but this team of experts that you work with?
It's a great question. So Satoshi lived mostly online. In fact, 100% online, right? Like what we know about the creator of Bitcoin comes from emails, internet posts, the white paper.
Yeah.
Like there's no TV appearances, right? There's no CEO, there's no corporate entity, there's no, it's just
No
almost
board of directors,
fictional. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we had to spend a lot of time going through,
It is fictional. Like you can't hold a Bitcoin, right?
You can't really hold a stock either. Like if anyone walked into a trader, whatever bank or whoever you do business with, and you say, "Hey, I want to buy 100 shares of Kimikaze or whatever."
What?
You don't actually.
Not too expensive.
You don't. Same thing with for those that don't know, in another lifetime, I worked on the floor of the Philadelphia Stock Exchange many moons ago. And so you could buy for, I always think about trading places, but you could buy like frozen orange juice, you could buy like gold, you could buy silver and all that. It's not like they actually send you the silver or send you the gold. You have stake in that, and then it's on a piece of paper, and then you sell it and somebody else buys it, basically. So they are paid to study this guy. As long as he is a mystery, they always get employed. Well, these two, from my understanding, Brad, these two guys were journalists that were writers. Short story. Shorting sucks. Yes.
He loves short stories.
Sell short, buy long. Anyway, so these two are journalists, and they did this investigative reporting. They claim to know who this person is. They're not really telling it because they don't want to out the guy or person. I shouldn't say guy because maybe it's a girl. I don't know. So they don't want to, but they're promoting their book to their theory of how they got to this place. And right now they're explaining some of the tools that they use. They hired a private investigator and things like that to figure out. There have been, and like you can go down a rabbit hole. There have been people that looked at all his writings, the posts online and things, and the verbiage. And we all know this. I speak differently than Kimikaze. I'll use different things to describe the same thing than Kimikaze would. So,
we know.
And somebody in Australia or the UK or whatever, even though we speak, quote, English, they may use different meanings to explain things and such. So there's reports out there that they don't even believe the person is Asian. They believe that the person might be an American or someone from the from the West. That who knows? But anyway, that's out there. So Brad, anyway, in a nutshell, these are investigative journalists. They're done their work. They're paid. They're done. They're just promoting this a couple months ago. And Bloomberg, just a backstory. Bloomberg was founded by Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York City. Before he was mayor, that's where he got a lot of his money. It's basically sort of like the Wall Street Journal. It focuses a lot on markets, investing, that sort of thing. There's a lot of articles and things like that. You used to be able to get the paper and stuff. Now everything's online. Everybody knows that. It was just like the Wall Street Journal. So they're on this program, which focuses on investing, and that's why it's a subject matter.
Granny, I didn't know that you had a kitten in your profile pic. Granny said they're okay coins, but yes, you can win Bitcoin at the casino.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's now more mainstream, I would say, if you will. There's more. There's ATMs you can, as I mentioned earlier in our conversation, you can go in and literally withdraw and deposit money. There's some gas stations and things that accept Bitcoin for, they have big signs for, paying for gas or whatever.
There's a person in the community that I'm in on YouTube, and she is she's really into Bitcoin and knows the ins and outs. I was trying to possibly get a hold of her to see if maybe she could come over tonight and just kind of give us some guidance, because she does really well with it. She has she gives little tutorial. Well, she used to give little tutorials and breaking down Bitcoin and how to invest, and she's not well off millions of dollars, but she's done very well with it, where she's able to her that's her thing. It's kind of like having a remote job, right? So she trades and stuff like that, and she does really good. So I was trying to find a way to get a hold of her for her to help, because I think she would be one that would have jumped on with us to help us understand it, but I couldn't get a hold of her. So I did try doing that for us.
Well, thanks, honey.
We're going to watch the rest of the news.
Yeah,
story?
Let's watch the rest of the clip.
Okay.
Data that was not only easy to find, but data that was very difficult to find. So we have a cyber investigations practice, which basically means we're able to find information that other people don't want us to find. So looking into corners of the web that are difficult to investigate and finding information and then making sense of that through pattern recognition and the like was a huge part of it.
You also talked to, as you mentioned, a lot of really famous people, but you talked to a lot of people I at least really had never heard of, and some of them made the more convincing arguments or seemed to provide some of the bigger pieces. Who did you find the most convincing or compelling?
Well, so the cryptographers we interviewed, in other words, computer scientists to make these privacy systems, were startlingly open to talking to us. I mean, very intellectually curious. I don't know, because I assumed that we'd get the same answer that Bill got, which is a lot of slam. Of
course, we'll know that.
And he's proving it right now on television. But that openness to address the question, where did Bitcoin come from? Why do we have it? What kind of person would be interested in this? Was wonderful to talk to people. And many of the conversations we had in the film were the result of years of developing relationships with people and a kind of classic journalistic effort of developing rapport with people.
I think to some extent they really hadn't been asked before. I mean, Michael Saylor is
filling up the boat
everywhere, right? And backing up the truck, and everybody's talking to him about Bitcoin. But the people you talk to, the people around the cyberpunk era, they probably hadn't been interviewed as much and had a lot of memories, and they wanted to talk about it, I think.
You're asking about this, Bill, and Todd, going back to the kind of cult of who this person is. Someone tells you this could be dangerous. If this person or these persons are unmasked, it could be dangerous. Explain that. What was that individual conveying to you about how things would change if the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto were to be public knowledge?
I thought about this a lot. I mean, obviously there was the whole swatting incident, and there have been swatting incidents which are very scary. But I had a feeling after so many of these OG types, the people who had big investors or Wall Street types who were pursuing Bitcoin as an asset class, I don't think they wanted us to figure out who Satoshi was, because what if Satoshi was like a bad guy or somebody we didn't like or did things that weren't great? Then their whole, like Michael Saylor has what, $50 billion invested in Bitcoin
on a given day.
On a given day, and it goes up, it goes down, and if Satoshi turned out to be some sort of nefarious character, then maybe the value of that Bitcoin investment would deteriorate dramatically, and so we got to.
That's a very interesting point that I didn't think of. If he's some bad guy, right?
Yeah,
like a Jeffrey Epstein type kind of person.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother, that's worse, man.
What's worse? Okay, Brad, have a great night. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I don't see. Here's the thing: we could say today, because Bitcoin is so valuable and where it is today. But back in 2011, nobody knew it would be where it is today. Well, let me rephrase that. Most people didn't believe it. That's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Had a lot of pushback on that, and why do you need to know? It doesn't matter.
That's my question. Why does it matter? Why did you guys want to put
Because it's
all
one of
this?
the greatest mysteries of the 20th and 21st century. In financial mysteries. It's an incredible development. It's incredible innovation. There's not that much innovation on Wall Street, generally speaking, and to create a digital currency that you can use for all sorts of interesting things. And who did it? And the white paper shows up. It's not a mystery. It's not a coincidence that the white paper shows up in the middle of the financial crisis, right?
Yeah, I understand when this product was developed, wanting to keep it secret because there could have been law enforcement action or whatever. But at this point, why wouldn't these people come forward or this person come forward? Do we know why?
Well,
I don't want to reveal anything, but yeah, obviously,
I think we do know now.
Okay.
And when you watch the film, you'll see.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Please watch.
Tyler, very quickly, there's Julian Ted at the end of this film talking about what Bill was just mentioning a moment ago, which is, we can make fun of crypto as being pet rocks or whatever, but it was born, as you're saying, out of this movement that wanted to really reinvent things.
I'm glad you asked that question, because one of our insights in the film, which is well known in the community, is that if we think of Bitcoin today, we think of it as a big global asset. It was not born that way. And in many ways, it was created by people who saw that there were issues in society that they wanted to fix. So they were essentially mathematicians who were activists, who saw the world in a very different way and proposed a solution to the problems that they saw. And I think that's a fascinating history project.
Tom Roney, Bill Cohen, thank you both. When's the film out? This week?
22nd.
Come back and talk more about it. It's fascinating. It's a great movie.
What the hell?
Yeah.
There's a movie about it now?
Yeah, that's what the documentary. And I didn't get the name of the documentary. They didn't say it once. They didn't say it once.
They didn't. Reputation is a thing. I don't think anyone did. They just lucked out. I'm very lucky then.
That's another thing they mentioned at the tail end. You have to, to go back in time in 2009 when all this was put together. And this is why there's speculation it may have been an actual country that developed this.
Really?
It was during the entire collapse with the bailouts and all that. 2009 was all the mortgage bubble, everything burst, and it was just, there was auto companies got bailouts, banks got bailouts. It was like chaos.
Yeah,
like
I remember.
We're really thinking that it was like around globally.
Earlier in the stream, Jersey said that this person should have been the founder of what they say, vaccines, or let me try and go back. I don't know. It's all the way back. It was all the way back.
So the understanding is that whoever this is, they took technology that was around for privacy and different things and put it together and then decide to make it part of, and that was why it was sold, was because of the financial bubble, because people were losing money in the stock market at the time, because all the banks and everybody was crying. And like I said, automakers, if you remember, it was a really scary situation.
Oh, wait. No, I said computer antivirus expert, not vaccine.
Oh.
To be fair, I'm having a bout of vertigo. Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up, Jersey.
So
appreciate that.
And I just because it keeps coming into my mind, not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but just because it keeps popping in my mind, being Christian, we know about, the Antichrist and the mark of the beast, and you never know who it's going to be, right?
Right.
And there's I think in is it Sweden or somewhere over there, they're starting to chip people, with the money, right? So could this be the start of that? You never know. maybe that's why I didn't like take off on it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to.
Well, I don't know about, your theory's fine. It's as good as any other theory, but I think part of this was to get around regulations and all that, and what you touched upon is Revelations clearly says that no one would be able to buy or sell anything without the mark. And yeah, there's tech, and this is obviously that was written 2,000 years ago, and obviously now there's technology where they're literally test marketing in Japan, I think I saw, and like you mentioned, some other countries where you could just your hand is your ATM debit card. In other words, you go to the store, you're getting a gallon of milk or whatever it is, and you just put your hand or your finger thumbprint or whatever, and that technology is available today. If you go to the bank and you want to cash a check and you're not with that bank, many banks used to make you have to do a thumbprint.
Yeah, I've had to do that. Yeah.
Now it scans. It scans. You just go in with the thumb and they scan the thumb. And that's just to identify if you're a crook that they know to get you.
I don't know. It kept coming in my head, so I was like,
yeah, it's a possibility. But and look what happened in Canada. I mean, a couple years ago there was and Bradley just left. It's a shame. He would really be able to comment on this. There was, if I remember correctly, some sort of truck strike.
Yeah, I remember.
Canada. And people were sending money.
It was in Ottawa.
To strikers to kind of help them live, till the strike was settled or whatever. And the government took over people's accounts and shut it down. Like if you donated money, they took over the account. And this is factual. They admit they did it. It's not like this is a conspiracy theory. It's been documented that the government did that. And they said they did it under the guise of protecting the country and all that.
Oh, that's weird.
Which is why everything gold coins and silver always be a black market for commodities. Yeah, that's true. You're always, gold has been around since before Egypt, before the pyramids and all that. I mean, it was used for trade and barter. Absolutely. So, yeah, commodities, gold, silver. And if you're watching Trading Places, Frozen Orange Concentrate, I love that movie. Crazy. I just love that movie. It's just so great.
So did this, you can't go wrong with metals. I know. And I just, so I'm getting Bitcoin documentary. Let's see. So the standout Bitcoin documentary for 2026 is Finding Satoshi, which premiered in April. The film follows financial journalist William D. Cohen and private investigator Tyler Maroney. Oh, that reminds me of Maroney's in Manihunk. Remember the water ice guy? Anyway, Tyler and Maroney, as they conduct a 4-year forensic investigation to uncover the true identity of Bitcoin's anonymous creator.
What was it called?
Finding Satoshi.
Finding Nemo? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Finding Satoshi.
Funny. Here, I'll put it in. I'll put this, what'd I do? Do you think it was because we went to the gym today that all this stuff is happening?
What? What's happening?
This is the IMD or whatever it's called. I just found this. If you want to invest in physical gold, Acre Gold is good. I will get a mark. Nope. No.
There's a trailer for Finding Satoshi on YouTube.
Okay.
Put Finding Satoshi official trailer.
Satoshi. Love.
Tomato, tomato,
Finding.
Satoshi, Sminoshi.
All right, here it is.
Check
And
it
it's the
out.
guy we just saw on the
Yeah.
it's the guy we just found on the we just watched on the news thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You want to play it?
I guess it's like it's interesting story because Bitcoin is popular and people do use it for currency. And now you have this backstory of this guy who created it and is just gone and hasn't used any monies or anything like that. And it's like, why? Who are you? How did you do it? It's just all these questions. It's crazy. I would never get a mark. I will trade goods until God comes to take us home. Well, God's watching for sure. I mean, I think most of us in the chat are, we believe the same faith that, yes, we will not, we're not going to do it. Can't force us to do something like that. God will provide. God will always provide.
Mm-hmm.
So to get back to the Bitcoin though, so I guess, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty, interesting thing. I didn't know anything about it until you mentioned it the other day. And, now I'm going to be up thinking about it. Thank you. Like I don't have enough to think about.
Well, we could all think about it, and I guess this is where the road ends, right? Anything else from that?
Did you have anything else? Because now we're all just left with a bunch of questions scratching our head.
Well, I mean, that's why this is called Couple Questions, because there's always questions about, I just thought it was very interesting. Nobody knows
interesting.
who this person is, and has billions of dollars, never cashed in, and just disappeared in 2011. I'm really thinking he passed on, he or she.
I don't know.
I would hope it wasn't a government.
It kind of reminds me of the
crisis.
Squid Games. It kind of reminds me of that. Like the person that was involved in all that stuff and putting this game together for money and all that stuff. Like, I truly believe you're enjoying hearing about Gerald. I truly believe, like, all right, I'm going to go on to my tangent because I've said this 1,000 times. I remember it was the year I lived in the house and it was New Year's Day. My mom came over. It was 28, no, because it was 2019. It was my first New Year's Day at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole thing 2018 was like, you had to watch this show called Bird Box on Netflix.
Never saw
it. Okay, well, so Sandra Bullock was in it and everything like that.
I know the premise.
Yeah. So here's what I think, right? I sat there and I wasted 2.5 hours of my life and I was so agitated and just like frustrated with the whole thing. But there was an invisible, like, mysterious monster that if you had to wear the blindfold, right? Because you couldn't look up in the sky and see the monster or you would turn, right? You would turn into like a zombie type kind of thing. So the whole movie, you're wearing this like blindfold. You had to be inside, all this. That was 2019. That New Year's Day. That was 2019.
Uh-huh.
Now fast forward to 2020 with the Rona, and we all had to wear masks because there was a monster in the air. Right?
Ah.
Yeah. So I truly believe that like they soft launch things.
It's possible. But
oh, shush.
if I I had a thought
Wait,
that
hold
I
on.
just
Fun fact.
popped into my head. I'd like to share with people.
Well, before you get there, Granny has a fun fact. I still pay some bills with a paper check. I went to pay my water bill a month or so ago. They no longer take cash or checks, only online payments, and that's scary.
We're guilty as well. And it's funny you mention that. This week I paid our water bill with a check, but that's a whole nother story. So
But
yeah,
that is the story. We paid our water bill.
I use checks too. Okay, so here's a thought. A lot of people might know this. If you don't, this is how a lot of extremely wealthy people live. Anytime you have income, so if you sell stocks and bonds, for example, or Bitcoin, if you cash it in, that is considered income and it's taxable, right? Because it's income. Now, if you get a loan, that's not considered income. A lot of extremely wealthy people, what they do, and I'm talking about like millionaires, right? Billionaires.
Flow. Who done it?
A lot of people will borrow on their stock. They will say, I have X amount of shares, loan me X amount of dollars, and banks will do that. Does this work? We're looking at it as, hey, this guy since 2011 hasn't done anything with his money. Financially, banks are not allowed to disclose, hey, I lent out X amount of dollars to this person and they use this for collateral. You can't make that public. It's,
But eventually, doesn't he have to pay it back? And he would have to use the Bitcoin to pay it back, right?
Why would he? If, as other people like Jarrell and other people, I think Jersey mentioned, if this person is extremely wealthy and they have a big time job anyway, or whatever, they could borrow the money at regular interest rates and maybe invest it for a higher. There's a million ways you could slice it and dice it. That could be what is going on. Another thought I have is, what if the creator, because he's this genius, this what if he's absent-minded and forgot his code to get the money? That's what I thought. What if
he doesn't carry a little notebook of passwords?
No. Some people don't do that. I do that. I just think that's the easy way of, safeguarding things. Because if a burglar breaks into your home, he's going to want to steal the TV and the computer. He's not going to be looking for a book with notes in it with, the passwords. Criminals are just to get in and get out.
Oh, my scam detective.
Well, hey, that's just me. Hey, M-Flow, we don't know who did it. We're still talking about it.
Nobody's going to know who did it. We can't find them.
We don't even know who it is. We don't know if it's a country or a corporation or people. So, but
well, it was an interesting story that you brought to the table this week. And, even through all of the techie issues that we had, we still were able to look at how insanely confusing it is. Mm-hmm. And I think we've all come to the conclusion that we're just going to keep silver and gold.
Yeah. I'm with them on that. So absolutely. That's a granny move. Absolutely. All right. Well, anyone else have anything else you want to chime in the chat? Any questions, thoughts? M-Flow, you have the floor.
Silver and gold it is. Bubby, I just started wearing this. Well, this is just a completely off topic thing. I mean, it's silver, but I just recently fit into will not fit into it, but it's like more comfortable to wear my Tiffany bracelet. And I put it on and I can't, I'm like, darn, that thing is heavy. Like I invested when I was single, I invested in my Tiffany pieces myself. And they're all silver. You've never bought me a piece of Tiffany ever. The only Tiffany I've ever gotten was from myself.
Who is Tiffany and why are you wearing her bracelet?
I those are things that I treated myself to. Thanks, Jersey. Thank you, Bobby. I
Yes,
always
thank you so
felt that
much.
Bitcoin, I always felt that Bitcoin was bigger than just one person or one team. A country makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And especially because it happened in 2009 during the financial crisis.
Yeah, that's an interesting twist too.
I mean, if it happened at any other time, maybe you could
Thank
say
you, Bubs.
other things, but
if you want a little update, Bobby, I didn't text you, but we went to the gym and I weighed in and I'm down 2 more pounds. So that's officially a total of 65. I wish you were 65 Bitcoins, but here we are.
Just remember everything we discussed. Please don't tell Bradley. All right? Just keep it under the hat. I'm glad he checked out earlier. Just don't tell Wandering Scorpio what we're talking about.
Thank you, Jarella.
Thanks, Jarella. Jarella,
before we go, can we tell the story of the watch too? I know it has nothing to do with it, but it's a short story and Brad's here and it's Father's Day weekend. So we were talking earlier about Coach handbags, right? Because I'm a Coach girl. So I bought a white silicone watch 10 years ago. I lost it. And in 2020, I found another one on Etsy. So, of course, you know, when you lose something and you replace it, you find the original. So both of them are in my, they were in my jewelry box. I was going through it. I picked one. I was like, I'm going to go get the battery. So we go up to there's like a pawn store next to our gym. So I went in and I asked the guy, I was like, can you change my battery? Because he changed my Marc Jacobs watch battery before. So he starts dropping F-bombs and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's cranky. So Mr. Kazi's out. He's like, I forgot my wallet. I'm like, oh, brother. So we go in and the guy's like, I don't change it. I said, well, you did a couple of years ago. Like, you know, if you don't, it's okay. So he's like, he goes, let me see it. So he takes it and he goes over and he's like, you know, he doesn't do watches, right? So he takes the battery off and he pops the battery out. He goes over to his drawer and was it not like a 6-gallon bag of batteries, nothing but watch batteries? And he's looking through each individual one. And then it gave him a hard time and he got out this machine and he's like, this is why I don't do it. Right? He was real cranky about the whole thing. The whole time it was cranky. He was giving him a hard time. Then I realized that my 12, because everything's just a little dash, the hours are dashes, but the 12 is an actual like a number 1 and a number 2. And on the way there, I'm like, oh man, my 12 fell off. So it's just like, it just looks like, you know, confetti inside the watch. So I'm like, do I want to get this done? Right. And I asked the guy, I was like, the thing is done. Like, you know, if you can you fix that too? And then he started F-bombing and everything. So he goes over and he's like putting the machine together and he finally gets it together. And he's like, here you go. And so we're like, all right, how much is it? And he's like, nothing, just take it. And we're like, wait, what? He's like the whole time bitching and moaning about this, you know, changing the battery in my watch. And he refused to give us a price. So my husband, being my husband, goes over and he's like, here. And he like handed him whatever, I don't know. $10, $20, whatever it was.
I put it on the counter. I said, you know, thank you. We appreciate it. Because I'm not a thief, you know.
No, we weren't thieving.
Right. right? But he spent his time. It's a business. And meanwhile, she left out a big part of it. We're literally there 15 minutes, literally.
The man needed a snack.
Trying different things to fix out, change it and everything. Customers were walking in waiting. There was a guy and his daughter that was there looking at jewelry. They wanted attention. There was another lady that walked in. There was other people. Like when we first walked in, there was nobody there.
Right.
And as he's going through this and 15 minutes is going by and he gets a phone call and he's like, I gotta call you right back. I mean, it's just, the store's getting big. It's just, so look, time's money. And I appreciate him offering to pay, but I mean, not to pay.
Not the charge.
I left him $10 and then I'll let you finish the story.
So he puts the money on the counter and we're walking out and the man screams at the top of his lung, no. And we're like, I said, I instantly turned to him and I said, go get the money. Like that was an absolute refusal of payment. And he was screaming. So he says this isn't doxing ourselves, but he's like, and he said, if you went to the fucking Cherry Hill Mall, they charge you over $20. Screaming. So Mr. Kazi had to go back and get our money.
And then I went back and I even tried to debate with him. I said, well, here, this is 10. This is half of what they would have charged us.
He was wild, Torello.
And no, he like yelled. You would have thought like I stole something. And at first I thought he was yelling at one of the other customers. Maybe they touched something, or because again, there's all sorts of merchandise all over the place. I didn't know if somebody touched something or was trying to steal something or whatever. So like I turned around to see what was going on, and I realized I'm getting yelled at.
Right, for giving him money. The battery costs money. Like if at some point he bought that battery, right?
Right.
So we were just like, okay. And then, even if he wasn't going to charge us, like, okay, here's a tip, right? He did say to me, like before Mr. Kazi came back into the store when he was like, I don't do it. And I said, well, it was a couple years ago you did. And he said, oh, my guy's not here. And I said, yeah, I know. He used to work behind that partition. And so he looked at me and he's like, well, you look like a nice lady. He said, I'll do it. And it was hilarious. I mean, we were being yelled at to get our money back. So I said, oh no, you better go get that money. Cause you know how people are. He was just like, I don't know. He just was dropping the F-bombs. And then when he told us that if we went to the effing mall, we would be charged. And now, like my other watch is also dead and needs a battery. And I'm like, I'm not going back to that.
No, we're not going back there because, hey, he's going to think we're going back there to expect a free battery. And I know.
Yeah, but I want my watch that has the 12, not the confetti.
And B, I don't want to argue with somebody when it comes time to pay them. I don't want to argue that they're paying us. We have to pay too much, or that we're not paying at all. I just
next time we'll tell him that we'll wire him some Bitcoin. How about that?
Well. There's a prince from Nigeria who, if we give him 10 Bitcoin, he's going to give us $500 million.
I know. Well, listen, I'm already talking to him. I got that under control. Don't you worry about it.
I'm not going to that store at all. I don't like when people yell at me. It's bad enough I don't do nothing wrong and get yelled at. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yell at me when I do something wrong.
Anyway,
yep. So that's one less cat a day story you have for next week.
I'm sure I'll have stories. No, we will have stories because we're going on a staycation and we're gonna.
Yeah, but Saturday you're going to be back for Catterday.
Yes, I will.
Oh, and for those that are just here, and it's probably preaching to the choir or whatever. But just in case somebody on the replay, I'm doing.
Will they get through you spinning and not being here? I'm teasing.
We're doing
if you talk to my partner's aunt, she's engaged to a millionaire from Greece. Oh, Bobs. tell him Doge is on the way. I mean, seriously, it was so funny. I think it's just the front that like he wants to make himself like a tough guy, but he's really like a softy, you know? Babe,
Yeah.
you did it wrong. I'll do it.
No, it came
So-
through. No, I just clicked on it to test it. It went right to it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's Kazi's tripping. There will be a video dropping this week. It is Mr. Kazi's channel. It is not mine.
And thank you, whoever just logged on that, because somebody just joined. And thank you.
Brad.
Oh, Brad? Oh, thanks, Brad. I appreciate you.
So look out for that. I will share it on my tab, of course, when he decides to drop the initial
It's
initial
this
bid.
week.
It's going to be a good one. It's a good one.
I'm gonna tease because it's all the most of the good people are here now.
Thanks, Bobby.
Except for Brad, but that's all. He's just busy juggling chainsaws and doing all this crazy skateboard tricks and all that Tony Hawk stuff. Anyway,
You're married to 100. Me too, Granny.
Brad, you know I like you. You know, I'm just teasing you. So go live stream with a battery replacement. Yeah. What we should do is reenact. We should reenact it.
I can take my other watch.
No, I don't want to do that.
All right, tease the video so we can let the good people
but
go.
I'll tease a little bit. So the idea of Kazi's tripping is that my wife and I we like going to different places,
Thank you,
different
Granny.
restaurants, out of the way places, little things that, you know, it's not McDonald's, it's not the same that everybody goes to all the time, and these out of the way places. So in a nutshell, I not literally threw, but I told my wife, get in the car, we're going to go somewhere for lunch, and I didn't tell her where we're going. And she was pleasantly surprised. And it's not just a restaurant, and it's a place that's been around since 1939. I'll say that much. It's an older establishment and it has still some of the same decor inside. And it's
Don't give away too much, like you
I'm
did
just
me, because
gonna-
I
I'm
guessed
just
it.
gonna- I'm just going to say this. While driving there, she asked for some hints as to where we're going, and I'll just say this: she freaking nailed it right away. She nailed it right away. And it's somewhat interesting. I think you'll find, and we'll just say that something famous happened at this particular place, and I'll just
It's
totally
iconic.
leave it at that. Something famous happened at this place where we went to have lunch. And you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it.
All right. Do you have any idea as to when you're going to drop the video?
I know when it's going to be dropped. It's going to be this week.
Okay. All
It'll
right.
be
Well,
within
we'll
the
have to
next.
keep our
It'll
eye
be
out.
within the next 5 to 6 days. It's already
Look at
scheduled.
Jarella. She's got the eyeballs.
Well, thanks, Jarella. Jarella, do you do windows? Just asking for a friend.
Let the fine people go. Thank you, Jarella. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you,
Thank
Brittany.
you, everybody.
Jersey,
Thank you so much for
Brad,
being here. We
and
really
Flo.
appreciate you.
We really do appreciate you guys.
Seriously.
Thanks for putting up with our shenanigans. We will we'll see everybody soon. Keep an
Yeah.
eye out for the Kazi video. And everybody have a great Father's Day. Ladies, treat your men. Let them have a steak and a beer or whatever. You guys have a great night.
Do you have the outro?
Oh, wait, no, I don't.
I like the
Who's
outro.
in charge over here?
You are.
Nah.
Sounds like you're feeling better, though. I'm glad.
Well, that's because I'm laying down.
Wonder Scorpion. Bradley's such a ball buster. Lovely stream, Bitcoin worthy. Thanks, Brad. You
Kimmy,
keep
you
juggling
can
those
still-
chainsaws, sir. Just watch the cojones, all right? Be careful.
Kimmy, you can still take us to the Blue Ridge Mountains. Granny, we are scrimping and saving for that cross country trip. We're definitely going to do it. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't know why I'm in charge of all this stuff.
Well, because you're the brains of the operation.
Apparently, no, I'm not, because I didn't share. It gives you extra time to say goodbye to one another.
Sharon's Karen. Or
I
Karen
know.
Sharon.
All right.
Granny, thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.